What is up, everybody? And welcome to another episode of In the Blender. I am your host. Got to put my pocket square back in the pocket. I am your host, Shake Money. And in today's guest, we have one more show before the final episode, and the Blender will be done for season 1. Season 2 will be here after Miami Dolphins win the Super Bowl. And that's a fact, Jack. That's the truth, Roof. Like my friend said back in the 70s. But anyway, I am here. I have a wonderful guest. My second to last special guest is my man, Lewis. We got some people in the building. Of course, we got my man, Bleezy38, Adam Sadowski, the resident Bills fan. What's going on, Justin? How you doing, my brother? It is good to see you, man. I haven't seen you in a while, but hey. And of course, my man Crypto. Can't forget Phin-Addict is blessing me. What's going on? It's a privilege to have you on here. What's going on, Phin-Addict? I hope to get you one day in the Blender. Aquavision. Adam Sadowski. What's going on, my brother? How you doing? Fins up. Definitely. Thank you. And what's going on, Justin? I was there by your store, just so you know. How many years for season 2? I think about 10 more. But no. After the Super Bowl. So it's going to be Detroit versus Miami Dolphins, and Miami is going to win 77-0. So there we go. Listen, if I'm going to make up shit, we're going to win 77-0. But anyway, listen. My next guest, I'll never forget, we were talking about Jimmy Garoppolo, and I got into an argument with this guy. We started yelling at each other, and he's like, hey, don't take it personal. I'm like, hey, I don't take it personal. I talk loud because I'm Cuban. And he told me, oh, yeah, he said in Spanish, soy cubano también. So we kind of, that's where we first met. We went going at each other. But over the years, I started coming here on Larry K's channel. He started coming on the Finn's Tailgate. He started, being on the Finn's Tailgate, the Rabid Dolphin with DTA and El Capitan. Then eventually I joined the TFTG, and now on Mondays and Wednesdays, me and him, we do the Smoke Lounge. So with no further ado, I'm going to bring mi hermano cubano, Mr. Rabid Dolphin himself. Dímelo. ¿Qué bola?
What's up, Shake, man? What's going on? I appreciate the invite to the Blender, man.
That's what's up, man. Yeah, man. You're the second to last guest before season 1 is over, man.
Yes, well, sir. I am truly honored to be up here.
Yes, definitely. Shout out to the TFTG, man.
Absolutely.
So now that we are in the Smoke Lounge, I'd be remiss. I got this bad boy that I've been sitting on for like a month or two. Like I said, I already had you in mind. You would have been here last week, but unfortunately, my computer se jodió, and you know how that goes. So
absolutely,
I couldn't do that. So I switched it to this week, and and I also got a little cognac.
A little yak with that Cohiba, Shake. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
Ain't nothing wrong with it.
Salud.
Salud.
We got Cat for Life in the building.
Yeah, I see that. Shout out to Cat. Man, I wish you would have took that. We should have said salud and before we got the news of our star new corner, Shake.
Oh, man. Well, hey, Crypto, we still have Xavier and Howard, right? So, hey, at least we have Xavier and Howard. Crypto will be happy about that, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Uh-huh.
CB1, Xavier and Howard.
So what do you think of training camp so far?
Besides the news, Shake, of that just broke about maybe a half hour ago, I thought everything coming out of camp has been pretty positive. You know, we have some Emmanuel Agba sightings today. Zach Solid was flashing yesterday. Even Skylar Thompson hitting Braxton Berrios and stuff today in training camp. So a lot
Yeah,
of positive news, and then we just we get the heartbreaking news about Jalen Ramsey. But
yeah,
it,
man.
it could have been worse. It could be ACL. Supposedly it's just
Meniscus.
meniscus. So
Yeah,
hopefully he gets the surgery sooner rather than later, and he's back for the majority of the season.
yep. Adam Sadowski, you ain't lying.
Yeah, you
So,
ain't never lie.
so let me ask you. All right, now that we're in the smoke lounge, so let's talk about how it started. How did
Okay.
how did oh, by the way, what did he say?
Not to add insult to injury, but Von Miller was told it was a meniscus. Turns out it was a torn ACL too. Mm,
Well, we'll see. That's what we have MRIs for. But
yeah.
so, with all that being said, so what led you into the TFTG gang? What made you want to go there that route?
Well, for me, finding the outlet on YouTube, just listening to Dolphin content, I was a little, and it's going to probably be surprising to a lot of people, but I was a little bit spooked to get up and start talking at first. I was just, a guy that would sit and listen, and I seen Phin-Sanity earlier. Shout out to her, man. She was one of the people that kind of inspired me to do it. So I
Mm-hmm.
built, I kind of built up, started coming around, different platforms, and then kind of just gravitated to the TFTG guys, man. I like their style. I like what they're about, and
Mm-hmm.
I was kind of approached by Color at first. Shout out to the homie Color, and then Cap also reached out, and that's kind of where it started. They said they would, wouldn't mind me maybe joining, and I accepted, man. It was, it's been great so far. I love the guys over there, including you, Shake, doing what we do Monday, Wednesdays, Friday, and Saturday. Shout out to Ali. I knew he was coming back Saturdays to take over, but
Yeah.
just enjoying life, man. I think we got a good thing going over there at TFTG, and again, I'm not blowing smoke up your ass, Shake, but you know how I feel about you, so just super
Thank you.
excited and trying to see where we can get this show, the Smoke Lounge, where we can get it to.
Yeah, man. We already had Dudley Do Wrong. We had my man Great One DeVore. We had Doc Reginald Brown.
Yep.
I'm in the works with
Alex Dono.
Alex Dono.
Yep.
I'm in the works with Ian, Big E, fan of the year.
Biggie. Shout out to Biggie.
Allie is going to be on there because we're going to be talking about the watch party at her Southwest Florida watch party. So she's going to make an appearance at some point. So there's some name. I'm going to be reaching out to a lot of people, and I got some surprise big names that I'm not going to announce just yet because it's still in the works. But Big E, I'm announcing him because he's one of those guys that he makes himself accessible to Dolphins content creator because he's that type of a person. You know what I mean? And so that's one of the
Yeah, for
reasons I
sure.
reached out to him. I had no issues reaching out with him because, like I said, I seen him on other platforms, and he's like one of those people that literally will give you the shirt off his back, man.
Right.
So he's a big dude too. He's like what 6'5". Holy shit! I didn't realize he was that tall, but yeah, he's a big
Yeah,
dude.
he's big, man. I remember being at some of the tailgates last year and seeing him out there and meeting him out there and stuff. So yeah, he's everything you said about him, Shake. He's big, nice, lovable, and just an all around good dude, man. So
Yeah,
it's
and
gonna be good when he comes on the show.
he got to announce one of the draft picks in the
Absolutely, for sure.
so I mean, that's got to be like one of the best experiences ever to actually pick. I forgot which player he picked, but he picked one of the players. But either way, that must have been a really good feeling to have. The only thing that sucked was Allie didn't get to call a name of player. I didn't see her do one this year. Maybe because we didn't have that many picks, but You know.
Well, maybe, yeah. I mean, that that does suck for her, but I mean, listen, to be named a fan of the year and to get Super Bowl tickets, I believe Dolphricky did go to the Super Bowl,
Yeah, that's
and
true.
just to be invited to
Oh
the
yeah.
draft and stuff. I mean,
Yeah, trust me. Yeah, yeah.
I
She
I, I
she's
would
not crying.
I don't think Dolphricky would be crying at all. No,
Yeah, yeah, for
absolutely
sure.
not. So.
So anyway, with the million, let's talk. Let's get to the $1 million question. What made you a Miami Dolphin fan?
Well, you said it in your opening monologue, Shay, us both being Cuban. Quick story, my dad coming from Cuba on the boat, landing in Miami, being born in Miami. I was born a Miami Dolphin fan. There was no other if and buts about it. Like my mom and my mom also came from Cuba. So, just being in Miami, there was no other team in the household. We were Dolphins, and that's just what it was.
Yep,
Like, it runs through my blood, man.
that's what's up, man.
But yeah, that's just. I mean, there's no other way to say it. I know we hear a bunch of stories from a lot of people that their dad and maybe was a fan of another team, and the mom, and then they're a fan. Nah, in the Amador household, there's one team, and it's Dolphins. So,
Yeah, for sure, man. And
and I'm keeping the tradition going. My kids, both of my older sons are Dolphin fans. My 8-year-old is a Dolphin fan, and my 4-year-old daughter, she's the
mhm,
little cheerleader now for the Miami Dolphins. So
that's what's up, man. And I know your son is. You have your oldest one. He's going to college soon, and I seen him wearing the Southwest, the Southwest. What's the Tampa school?
the USF, the University of South Florida, the Bulls. So yeah, he's going into his senior year in high
Hmm.
school. He has some different offers from up north teams and stuff, but for me as a father, I kind of want him to get away, branch out, become a man. His
Yeah,
mom is more of stay kind of close to home so we can go to his games and stuff. So we'll see. But the pictures you've seen, Shake, of him, that was at his visit to USF, and they did a whole like photo shoot of him, um, and just trying to wine and dine him so he would commit there. But no official commitment yet, man. Where he wants to see what he does in the senior season, and hopefully a bigger name comes calling.
that's what's up, man. So I remember you saying that you used to watch a lot of Dolphins games with your dad's dad, right? You have any games that you can recall vividly?
Oh man, there's a lot of them. The one for me, I know I was in the building for it was opening week, rainstorm. Marlins still played in Joe Robbie Stadium, and it was I forgot the final score, but it was the game where I think Bledsoe threw for like 450. Marino almost had like 500 or maybe a little bit over 500, and we were in the building for that game. That's probably the best memory I have, actually being in a stadium. But listen, there's a lot of Dolphin wins and positivity that I remember, and a lot of Dolphin misery and losses that I remember, man. But
Oh, for sure. And
that
let me
that's one that sticks with me specifically is the opening weekend.
Cat for Life is in the building. Raphael Courtright and my favorite Oos, Q. It's good to see you, my brother. Good to see you, man. Please, on your way in, please make sure you're hitting the like button, man. Do me that favor. Um, Make sure you're subscribing. Larry K and I are going to be doing our weekly panels, and we're going to be doing some preview shows as well. So be on the lookout for that. But so let me ask you this. So games. I know you went to some games last year, right? Have you ever been to any games with your dad, your pops?
Yeah, we were in opening week, like I said, for the Drew Bledsoe Marino game, going back and forth. We were in the building for that one. Um, we've been to a
Can you
couple
explain
Patriot games.
Can you explain the atmosphere in that game?
Oh man, listen, it was there was no roof over the stadium yet. It was the old school stadium,
Yeah.
old school Joe Robbie with no roof. It was I just
and the diamond.
and the diamond, the Marlins diamond for sure. Um, it was just a nasty day, man. It was raining. People didn't want to be in their seats. I remember that early in the game. It was just like, I don't want to be out there. A lot of people watching from the corridors, kind of. And once the shootout started, man, the rain kept coming, but people started getting their butts in the seat, man. It was just the atmosphere was crazy, and watching, I believe the game-winning touchdown was Marino to Irving Fryer down the sideline I think it was 4th and 10, if I'm not mistaken. So it was just, man, it was a lot of like, electricity, I would say, in the building, man. It was electric.
Yeah, man, it was. As a matter of fact, when Alex Donald was in the blender, he said one of his favorite games was he was at a friend's house, and that was one of his most memorable games. He could remember. He said he was at his friend's house, and he heard his friend's parents use some 4-letter words. So,
yeah.
Man, one thing about me is whenever my girlfriend told me, she said I sound like a bipolar man because 1 minute I'm cheering and then next minute I'm yelling at the screen. That's why. That's kind of one of the reasons why I like, to be honest with you, watching the games at home, so I could fucking just be myself. You know what I'm saying? And not people say somebody give this guy a fucking Ritalin or something.
Right. Listen, growing up in my household, that's why I have a mouth of a sailor, because in my house it was my mom and my dad screaming and cussing, and it was just, it was all about the Dolphins, man. So I I think that's where my rabidness comes out, let's say, is from them. It was always a fun and hectic Sunday in the Amador household for sure.
So who came up with the name Rabid Dolphin? How'd that name come about?
Trying to find kind of something that kind of embodied me, Shake, to be honest, and sitting with some of the TFTG guys. They kind of asked me ideas for logos and stuff, and I know I wanted to implement something with a dolphin, and got a couple good ideas from Cap and Color and Ali and the boys, and we came up with the Rabid Dolphin, and you see the dolphin with a cigar in his mouth, kind of
Yep.
for the Cuban, kind of heritage, and a bat with spikes going around it, because like, the persona is the Rabid Dolphin. Even though I try to be positive and I try to see the best in everything,
Yeah,
sometimes shape, it gets the best of me, and the Rabid Dolphin comes out for sure.
for sure, man. What was your most Rabid Dolphin moment watching the Dolphins?
Oh man, I have, not with my new wife now. I've kind of calmed down maybe with some of my older age, but when my first marriage, I've broken doors. I've punched holes in doors, holes in walls and stuff. It's
Oh yeah,
you
you
know,
should see some of the
it,
holes in this wall in this room, but whatever. I'm not.
oh man, but yeah, man. Listen, it's gotten bad, but with time, I guess, with wisdom, your age and stuff, you kind of grow out of those stages. But it didn't happen too often. But I would lie if I told you I didn't break a couple of doors or walls or anything like that.
Or remote controls or controllers. Yeah,
Hey,
see, I got
listen,
to. luckily,
I
luckily
might
for
have
me,
I might have threw a couple of my older kids, two of my older sons. I might have threw them around a little bit. Who knows?
but hey, I tell you what, I thank God I grew up in the '90s because I tell you what, back in the days, if you punch those TVs that we grew up with, you break your fucking hand. These
Oh,
TVs,
for sure.
you punch them. It's like they punch the TV like that. That's nothing, man. Listen, I want you to punch one of those tube TVs, and if that breaks, that's impressive. Not break these punching these TVs ain't impressive. Punch one of those 13 those TVs that could fall down 2 flights of stairs. You plug it up, and it still is working.
Yeah,
Punch one of those, and and
you could
and
beat
and, and tell me,
right.
uh,
You could beat
uh,
the shit out of those old TVs for sure.
fuck yeah. Same thing with the. I'll never forget. I had an old Nokia phone, right?
Right.
It was one of those ones you could play the old one,
Mm-hmm.
and I never forget. I was I was painting condominiums in Biscaya. This is in Aventura, and I was leaning over the balcony, and the thing slipped out of my hand. It bounced off a roof. Boom! It fell apart. I put it back together, and I was using it again. I'm
And
like,
how far were you up, Shake?
8 stories.
Second, 8 stories. Wow.
8 stories.
Mm.
That shit, it fell apart. All the case fell apart. It was, and I just put the case together, put in the battery. I was able to use it again.
Right. Mm. Yeah,
Of
they
course,
definitely don't make stuff. They don't
like they
make
used to.
stuff like they used to. Yeah,
For sure. And
that's for damn
Crypto
sure.
agrees with me about the TV. Yeah. You ain't punching those TVs, bro.
Mm-mm.
So what part of Cuba you from? Your dad's from? Your parents are from?
Havana,
Havana?
Havana, both of
Yeah.
them.
Yeah, my mom's from Havana and my dad is from Baracoa, from Oriente.
Okay, yeah, yeah,
He was a Guajiro.
yeah, for sure. Yeah, I'm starting to think my dad's lying to me because my dad is a little Wahito too, but he says he's from Havana. So
Well, you got a lot of dude. You got campesinos from everywhere, bro. Guajiros
that,
everywhere, man.
that's
It's
for
the
damn
old.
sure.
Yeah, he was a hill. We used to have at our house. We used to have roosters. We used to have all kind of animals, whatever. That was his thing. You know what I mean? And then of course I used to see him. He'll grab one of the chickens, whatever, fucking wring his neck, throw it on the ground, then take it inside, pour hot water, take all the feathers out, and like it's crazy, man.
Listen, I've seen that exact same thing you're talking about, so I know exactly.
Uh-huh.
I think we've all been there.
Yeah, man. My and then nowadays when I used to ask my dad why like, hey, do this. He goes, I'll say why. He'll look at me, slap me in the head because I told you to. That's why.
Oh, for sure, for sure. My dad was
That-
the same way. Hard on me. My mom was hard on me. It was just,
I mean, it
anything
isn't.
that happened, it was my fault, and I got in
Yeah.
trouble for it. So,
Oh yeah, man. But I tell you what, man. I want to trade for. I'll tell you what. I miss my grandma's cooking. That was the best Cuban food I've ever had. You know what I'm
I,
saying?
be-
God rest her
I
soul.
believe it. I believe it. I think that's a Cuban thing. Even with me, my father cooked, my mom cooked and stuff, but there was no food that can compare to my grandmother. So,
Oh
I
shit,
think
man.
that's a tradition in the Cuban household. Grandmother always cooks better than everybody.
Look, if my dad cooked, we were starving. I'm being honest with you. God rest his soul. Man couldn't cook worth a damn. This man couldn't even boil water, man. So if we left him up for cooking, we'd be starving.
Mm.
So, oh man. But so tell me, who are some of the players that you looked up to growing up?
Well, obviously, Marino was, he was the man. It was Dan the man for a reason.
Mm-hmm.
But always like some of the fast guys like Clayton Duper, um, liked OJ McDuffie. We had the
Mm-hmm.
pleasure of talking to him a couple weeks ago. Um, man, there's just so many guys. It's again, I think you kind of, looking throughout the years and going from team to team, you kind of don't remember some of the guys that you used to fall in love with. But again, Marino, Clayton, and Duper kind of sold me just the way that offense ran. But then, defensive guys like Zach Thomas, Jason Taylor, you know, um, that Madison and Surtain, you had those boys. It was, a whole bunch of guys that, I kind of looked up to.
Yeah, man. Zach Thomas, of course, we can't forget Zach Thomas. Some of the best
Oh, Zach,
defenses.
absolutely. Well,
Man,
even a guy like, remember he used to come off the edge, number 93, Trace Armstrong. Even
yeah,
a guy like that, bro, like the way he worked, the way he would perform on Sundays, he didn't look the part, wasn't gonna jump out the gym, wasn't gonna run the fastest or nothing. But a guy like that, bring his lunch pail, come in and perform. Even guys like that, man, I used to, love and admire.
yeah, me too, man. I remember, like I said, a lot of people don't. One of the things that I admire was I used to work at the time it was around 2001. It was somewhere between 2001 2002. I forgot what it was. It was the year we went to the playoffs with Thurman Thomas. Dave Wonston was the head coach,
Okay.
and I was working at the stadium, and we used to have to be at the stadium at 5 o'clock, and at 7 o'clock, I used to see Zach Thomas run the perimeter of the field for 30 minutes at 7 o'clock every game day
Mm.
without fail. He was there at 7 o'clock running by himself the length of the perimeter of the stadium. You know where the team is. You know what I mean? Outside, he
Right.
would do
On the
laps
out. Yep. Yep.
at 7 o'clock.
Mm. And that's in the morning shake you're talking
Yeah.
about for like a 1 o'clock game. So
Hmm.
7 in the morning. Mm. Yeah, man, that just shows the work ethic and the dedication. Another guy, you look at Zach, he's not gonna, you don't see all the muscles bursting out. You're not gonna consider him the fastest guy, but just a guy that you knew that was gonna bring his lunch pail. He was gonna clock in, and he was gonna go to work, man, for 3.5 hours.
And I know a lot of people don't like Chris Sims. I'm a Chris Sims fan. There's some things that he said, especially with the 2-and-on, that were not called for. But at the end of the day, I'm still not going to disrespect his football knowledge. At the end of the day, whether he failed or succeed, he still played in the NFL. You know what I'm saying? He still made the cut. Where there's a lot of quarterbacks didn't even get that chance. But anyway, he was saying that he would play when he played against Zach Thomas. He heard Zach Thomas. He's like, damn it, man. Zach Thomas, how the fuck does Zach Thomas know our plays? He thought, he's like, holy crap, how did he know I was going to do this? How did he knew? He said, he was like one of the smartest players he's ever played against was Zach Thomas.
Absolutely, Shake, and again, that's how you overcome not being the biggest, not being the fastest, not being the strongest, right? Is your work ethic, the work you put in the classroom, studying quarterbacks, studying different running backs or whatever position, just learning cadences, learning, things. Well, this player likes to do this, and this player cuts this way, and this quarterback hit when he releases the ball, he releases it this way. That's what Zach Thomas was about, man. You've heard him say it multiple times. So again, man, that guys that you would just admire the way they play the game, even if they're not the fastest or biggest or strongest, man, it's definitely a pleasure to watch for sure.
And you know what's funny is, shout out to Papa Paul and the Finns, West Coast Finns, but he was saying
For sure.
how Zach Thomas was an undersized player and now is in the Hall of Fame. But you know what? So was Jason Taylor. Jason Taylor was an undersized. There was a reason why he was drafted. Here's the story. Jimmy Johnson was going to draft him in the second round. And then he saw that Sam Madison fell. And he's like, you know what? I'm sorry. If you're there in the third round, but the cornerback was a bigger need than the edge player. So he took Sam Madison instead, and then Zach Tom and then Jason Taylor fell in the third round, and he took him. But he was an undersized defensive end. You look at him, right, and you stand him next to guy even Jason Phillips. You stand him next to Jason Phillips. You stand him next to Michael Strahan. You stand him next to these other defensive ends like Javon Curse, Julius Peppers. Those guys were built. He was just like a tall, slim dude. You know what I'm saying? He wasn't that physical freak like some of these other defensive ends that I just mentioned. You know what I mean? But he had he had this and he had the heart.
Oh, for sure. Listen, for me, Jason Taylor, just the way we always hear the word anticipation, right, with Tua. The way Jason Taylor would anticipate that ball being snapped, the way he would get, it would look like most of the times Jason Taylor was coming off the edge, it was an offsides on the defense because he was just at the snap of the ball, he was across that line, and he was just a monster coming off that edge, man. He was just an absolute. To your point, Shake, he wasn't a freak when you looked at him, but on the field, he was an absolute monster. He was a freak when he was on the field.
I had a buddy of mine who was a Jets. Actually, he was a Giants fan. The only reason he rooted for the Jets was to piss off Dolphin fans in Miami because he couldn't really see. So every time he would make fun of Jason Taylor, he'd call him Neutrogena because he used to do
Oh
Everett.
man,
Remember, he used to do
yeah,
ads
I
for
do remember.
Neutrogena.
Yeah,
Yeah. So and what's cool was I got to meet his sister working at Barry University, and he was at her graduation because I used to when I was working at Barry University, I used to set up the graduations. Me and these two other guys, this Romanian dude and this Puerto Rican guy, we used to go, and my friend, God rest his soul, Roderick, we used to go to somewhere downtown Miami. We'll set up the graduation, put the seats and all that shit. And he was there, man. Damn, he was fucking tall as fuck, bro. But
yeah.
he was
Jason
slim.
Taylor is, I think it
He
was like 6'6", wasn't he?
yeah. He was very slim.
Oh, he's definitely he was on the smaller size, tall, but just
Hmm.
a guy that was real skinny and
Yeah,
again just got the job done, man. He's
yeah,
an absolute
and
monster.
I didn't really bother him because I know he was there to watch his sister graduate. So I'm like, you know what? He's here for family. So I'm not. I didn't think it was appropriate for me to go. Hey, let me get your autograph. He wasn't there for that. So you know what I mean. But I did. I get to meet. Hopefully one day I get his autograph. But now he coaches some D2 team, I think.
Oh, so he left the Hurricanes? I thought he was still with the Hurricanes.
No, that's the team I'm talking about.
Oh, come on, Shake. Look. You had me confused, Shake. I was like, damn, did he leave? He left? He left the Hurricanes? No, man, that's not right, Shake.
Oh man, yeah. See, that's the thing that kind of it's like, I'm not gonna hate on him, but I wish he would have. I wish he would have been the defensive lines coach for the Canes. I mean, for the Dolphins.
Right? Yeah, it's kind of confusing why the Dolphins never reached out to certain players. Like even well, they would have to be up for it, but even like a guy like Zach Taylor or Zach Thomas, I mean, listen to me, Zach Taylor. Zach
Zach Thomas,
Thomas,
I don't think he wants to though.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. They would have to want to, but that would be a good question to ask. Like, have the Dolphins reached out to you? Because I would love to see Zach Thomas as the linebacker coach here in Miami, or Jason Taylor, to your point, D line coach. I would love to see that.
Well, there's a saying that I know that goes, the difference between a good teacher and a great teacher is a good teacher will teach you how he knows, and a great teacher will teach you how you know. So, just because you know how to do something well doesn't mean you know how to teach it. Doesn't mean you know how to transfer that knowledge onto somebody else. You know what I mean? There's some people that
Right.
are great at this. Look at Michael Jordan. He tried doing that. It didn't translate. You know what I mean? Look at him. He's a GM, and you would think with a guy with his experience and his wealth, you know what I'm saying? It's just like, for instance, if we were to put together a basketball team, I'd take Michael Jordan over Phil Jackson 10 out of 10 times. And just like if I was putting together a coaching staff, I'm taking Phil Jackson over Jordan 10 out of 10 times.
1,000%.
There's,
Yeah, oh yeah, you're absolutely right, Shake. I think to your point, a guy like Zach Thomas or Jason Taylor, they like maybe Jason Taylor would tell Jalen Phillips to do something because that's the way he did it. But maybe Jalen Phillips ain't that kind of player, but you would try to teach him your way. And so I kind of get your point. I agree with that,
and there's some like, for instance, you look at Bill Belichick. He knows how to make the most out of you know what I'm saying, out of the players. He knows what their strengths are. He knows how to teach. He knows he's a good teacher of the game, and that's why he's had success with so many players.
Right. That makes sense.
There you go. What do you say? No, Shake. Jerry Saloon and the Mailman. What are you talking
Yeah.
about?
As basketball, Jerry Sloan was the Utah Jazz head coach.
Yeah.
But I don't think Jerry Sloan is, and I know Crypto might not like it,
No, yeah,
but I
no,
don't
he's
think Jerry Sloan was
was a good
better than
coach.
Phil Jackson. Well,
Nah,
no, Jerry Sloan was great, but I don't think he was Phil.
no. And I know a lot of people said, well, he got Kobe and look, here's something I can say, and this is for a fact. Kobe Bryant and Michael Jordan never won a championship without Phil Jackson. I mean, Kobe never won a championship without Phil. Jordan never won a championship without Phil, but he's won a championship without either. So he's won one with Kobe and one with. So at the end of the day, look at that team that beat Boston. As a matter of fact, he had a personal beef with Phil Jackson. He realized that, hey man, he reached out and said, listen, I realize I can't do it without you, Phil. He brought Phil back because he realized that he needed Phil to win that championship.
Yeah, I do remember that. Phil left the Lakers for a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
He was having problems with Kobe. I think Phil even wrote a book about him and was like dogging Kobe. And Kobe still, like to your point, he reached out to him and wanted Phil back. So that should definitely go to show you how what great of a coach Phil Jackson really was.
Yeah, him and Pat Riley. You got Popovich and all that good stuff. But so let me
Well,
ask you
that's
this.
that's what makes a good coach, Shake, is to manage egos. I think if you're a coach,
Yeah,
especially at that level, I think everybody can coach. But just look at the egos, like to the guys like Pat Riley, Phil Jackson. Those
Bill
guys had to
Belichick.
manage. Look at Bill Belichick. Look at the egos. Look at the guys that were great. It's not easy to coach guys like that know they're great. And Phil, I think to me was the best at that. That's the reason they call him the Zen master. You know, he knew how to pull strings when he needed to, and he knew how to kind of lean back and pull back a little bit when he needed to. So
That's for sure, man. And well, we haven't had any good coaching since Don Shula. I like Brian Flores. I liked Tony Sperano, but unfortunately, the fucked up thing about the Dolphins organization is they had a coach. They never had a coach and a GM that were on the same page.
I I agree. Um, See, and Shake, and that's a great point. That's why I'm so high on this football team right now, because it just seems from the top down, whether you like Ross or not, I'm not here to debate that.
Yeah.
But it just seems like Ross to down to Chris Greer, down to Coach McDaniel, they're all on the same page. And for me, to your point, we haven't had that in such a long time that I think that's why you're starting to see some of the positivity, not maybe so much in the fan base, but from a
Mm-hmm.
team perspective, I think everybody is on the same page. I know you just highlighted Q, him being a resident Dolphin fan, but Steeler fan too. That's why the Steelers have been great, man. You look, they've only had what, three or four coaches in the history of their franchise.
Three,
I mean, Art three.
three,
So Art
three
Art
coaches. And
Rooney,
check this out: three coaches, and all three have a Super Bowl ring.
absolutely shake because the owner, the general manager, and those three head coaches, they were always on the same page.
Mm-hmm.
Right? The owner wasn't meddling. The owner he puts a guy in place, empowers that guy, and lets
Mm-hmm.
that guy go to work, man. And hopefully Stephen Ross is kind of learning that, and we see McDaniel here for years to come.
And Rooney also understood that they're going to have up years and then they're going to have down years. Not the thing what happened with New England is an anomaly, an anomaly, was a fluke.
Anomaly.
Not too many teams win 6 Super Bowls like at the rate they did because you can't name another team that maybe the Steelers back in the '70s when they won 4. That's probably
Right.
the closest thing you could come to. You know what I mean? Dallas had 3 in the '90s. So I mean, those things are hard to come by. You're gonna have good years and you're gonna have down years. So at the end of the day, can you weather the bad years? And unfortunately, when it got bad for Miami, they just dumped the coach, start
Right.
all over. Meanwhile, the Patriots had this guy for 20 years. You're battling a guy who's been coaching for 20 something years, the same team, and you're resetting and hoping to catch up with the guy who's been there for 20 years in 1 year.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's just too much turnover. It's every 2 to 3 years, rumors are swirling. Is the coach going to be on the hot seat? Is he fired? Is he not? You're losing. Once you lose a coach, usually you're losing general managers, which Miami for the past couple of years or past couple of coaches hasn't been the case. But you're switching position coaches. You're bringing in new personnel. It's too much. You're never going to be able to build something. And I
Mm-hmm.
think finally we got, I don't know how long Vic Fangio plans to be here, but I think from an offensive perspective, from what we've seen so far in his 1 year, McDaniel made some mistakes, but I do believe that Miami does have the right guy leading the charge right now. And I'm a Brian Flores guy, Shake.
Yeah, me too.
Everybody knows it. I no shot at Flo. I loved Flo.
Mm-hmm.
I think the way Flo did things, I think you could win that way. But, I think McDaniel, the way he does things, I think you can also win that way. So,
Yeah.
hopefully they kind of learned. And, again, for our sake, Shake, hopefully McDaniel's here for the next 10 to 15 years and we're winning Super Bowls.
Well, like the saying goes, there's more than one way to skin a cat. But let's get to a brighter note. You went to a couple of games via Stephen D. I think you co-hosted one of his tailgates parties, right? If I'm not mistaken.
Well, I know it's just a big party and when we're out there tailgating, but I know a couple guys. I wouldn't even say co-hosting because Color's done it, Ali's done it, Batman's done it. Shout out to Chef Jew. He even grabs the mic. Andrevius, me. I think we all just go out there and kind of shoot the shit a little bit. But it's a great time. Hopefully, Shake. I know you said you'll be there week 5
Mm-hmm.
for the Giants. I'm gonna be out there as well. So, bro, it's just an awesome time. A bunch of guys just hanging out, drinking, shooting the shit before the game and getting ready, man. So, but shout out to Stephen D because Stephen D and Cameron 954. He that East 32, I believe. They're cooking food. Steven's there live. Solo D's out there. Most of the times, or the times I was out there, he was performing. So just all around, man, it's a good time when to go out there.
So tell the people that might want to go. What's the food like at East 32?
Oh man, look. I've been there where it's been hamburgers, hot dogs, cheeseburgers, shit like that, and then they also have like pasta, bro. Cameron, I can't believe it, bro, because it's we got out there probably around 9:15 in the morning, and he's already out there set up, already grilling, and Chacho by 10:30, 11 o'clock, it feels like a fucking oven there. So I couldn't even tell you all the stuff that man has cooked. I mean, bro, you'll see this year, Shake. It's like a whole setup, bro. It
Yeah.
looks like a hibachi grill. I mean,
Damn.
there's 2 or 3 guys back there, and all you see is shit getting tossed around and getting cooked, and it's crazy, man.
But I told
I
Crypto I'm
can't
gonna get
tell
him a
you,
hot dog. I'm gonna get him a hot dog
man.
when I
Crypto
go to
needs
the
to leave
game.
those damn hot dogs alone, man. You can't be a grown man and you need hot dogs still, Crypto.
Shit, you
It's a
ever had a
bad look.
Chicago dog? That shit's good as
I've
fuck,
never.
bro. That shit is good as fuck, boy. It's with all the fixings. Man,
Oh yeah,
I ain't gonna lie. Every once in a while, I get a hot dog. One of my favorite breakfasts is hot dogs and cheese grits.
hot dogs and cheese grits.
Yeah, what I do is I boil the hot dogs, I chop them up, then stir fry them, and then dump them in my cheese grits.
Mm. So I'm assuming it's good then.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna send you a footage. There was a I'm gonna text it to you. I was on a show called Not for Debate with Great Windivore Banks and a guy named Havoc. He was a chef, by the way, in New York, from New
Mm-hmm.
York City. He was a Dolphin fan. He grew up in Broward, then he moved to New York. So anyway, um, And we got an episode where I was live cooking hot dogs and cheese grits. I'll send you that footage. I was
Oh, I
my
need to
name.
see that.
I changed my name to Sheikh Boardi.
That is hilarious.
Yeah, I'll check that one out too, man.
Yeah, I definitely want to see it. I definitely would like to check that out.
So anyway, it's that time of the segment. Cheers, my brother.
Salud.
Where we do the numbers game. You're familiar with the numbers
What?
game, right?
Yeah, for sure.
So anybody in chat want to throw out some numbers? You tell me the first player you think of when you hear this number. All right. 32.
Verone McKinley.
Ron McKinley. All right. Now the next four, I'm gonna do just like color. I don't know if did you ever see the color episode?
Mm-hmm.
Did you see it? I'm gonna do just like color, and you tell me the theme. Okay. 26.
Man, I'm drawing a blank from all these. See, I'm just remembering like newer players now. Saved Ahmed.
Okay, that's a good one, man. 15.
Jalen Phillips.
All right. 21.
Man, we had a running back. 21. Forget his first name. I believe his last name was Higgs. I believe. 21. Trying to think of a 21. That one got me stumped. But I believe we had Mark Higgs, I believe was wore 21.
Mm-hmm.
I believe.
Eric Rowe.
Eric Rowe.
Brent Grimes.
Man. Grimes is another one. 21.
How about 11? Crypto.
11. Crypto's favorite wide receiver, Mike Wallace.
Mike Wallace?
Crypto's favorite number 11.
I thought it was Devontae Parker. You down with DVP? Yeah, you know me. You down with DVP? Yeah, you know me. Who's down with DVP? This whole party.
I knew it was Mark and something Higgs. Mark Higgs.
Yeah.
21.
All right, and number 50.
50. Damn, who wore 50 for us? I knew I was gonna be horrible at this game, Shay. You putting me on the spot. I'm with Ali.
You got some of them right, 50? So he didn't get nothing right, so you're good.
So I beat Ali then. So I still have bragging rights.
Yeah.
50. I can't think of a 50 off the top of my head.
Olivier Vernon. He wore 50.
Olivier Vernon was 50?
Yeah, he was 50.
No,
yeah,
Olivier.
Yeah, he was 50.
Damn, bro, that's crazy. I didn't think it was 50.
Yeah, Olivier Vernon. Hold on. I'll shoot you a text.
No, I take your word for it. I definitely
so now,
take your word for it.
So you know, do you know the theme I was going with those numbers?
I do not.
Most of those players came from the U. Lamar Miller wore 26.
Lamar did wear 26.
Frank Gore wore 21.
21. Frank
Jalen
Gore.
Phillips wore 50. 15. And then Olivia Vernon with 50.
Bro, for some reason, I'm having a hard time putting Olivier Vernon in 50.
Yeah, see, you would think that, you know, you guys would remember your Canes players. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, man, the Canes have been horrible for the past couple of years.
Yeah.
I'm waiting for them. You need to tell me Canes from the late 80s, early 90s.
Yes. The U. And that's what. The U. You know why they call themselves the U, right?
Do I want to know?
because
Oh
Canes can't play university. But anyway,
oh
oh
man.
man. All right, let's do a little because this is gonna we're gonna kind of segue into this is what we're gonna do in segment 2. Instead of doing the positions game, I'm gonna do 3 Dolphins trivia questions, and this is what we're kind of doing the next year for next year's. All right,
All right.
all right. Dolphins trivia. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
What name the quarterback took over for Dan Marino? The first
Jay
quarterback.
Fiedler.
Correct. Name the
1-1, man.
quarterback. Name the quarterback. The last quarterback to win the division for the Miami Dolphins.
Chad Pennington.
All right, and name the quarterback. And name the. Hold on, I got another one. Let me see another one. Another good trivia question. What year did we break this? Not only did we have the rushing, the leading rusher and the leading sack, the player with the most sacks in one year. The leading sack, the leading sack player, the player with the most sacks in one year, and that year the leading sack, the person with the leading sacks and the person with the most rushing yards. What year?
All right. So it was Ricky Williams and Jason Taylor. And I want to say 2000 2003.
Close. 2002.
Mm,
2002, 2003. So
mm. But the players were right, correct?
yeah,
Ricky and Jason Taylor.
Jason Taylor had 19 and a half, and Ricky had 1,800, almost 18, over a little over 1,800.
Yeah, monster season, bro, from both of those guys. I think
Yeah,
Jason Taylor, that was defensive player of the year, right?
yeah, I think so. And we didn't even make the playoffs that year at 10. And
It's
I think we
crazy.
had 10. I think we had 10-6 or 11-5. I can't remember, but we didn't
Man,
make the playoffs that year.
crazy, bro. Crazy.
And then that year, we thought we were going in high, and then all of a sudden, Ricky got busted for fucking weed, and the fucking wheels fell off big time.
Yep. Mm.
Then he retired. Remember?
Then he retired, ended up coming back for a little bit, but it wasn't the same, man. The momentum had definitely been stopped.
Just like in 2016, the next season we had big. We were riding high. We made the playoffs. Next thing you know, the hurricane hit. Fucking that linebacker we got from the fucking Steelers went AWOL.
Lawrence Timmons. Yep.
Yeah, I think the cocaine thing happened.
Oh,
That
bro,
year,
it was crazy, bro. It was crazy.
and then
It
that after that we imploded. We thought we were gonna do well with the Miami Miracle, and then didn't win the game after that.
it's been shake. It's been a mess for a while, and that's why I kind of do get some of the guys that are. I don't want to keep saying negative. Well, haters, right? Because I don't think they're haters. I just think people are kind of negative because, bro, let's be honest, it has been a dumpster fire for what 20 plus years, almost 30
Mm-hmm.
years. So I get the people. I don't want to call them haters. I get the people that say they need to see it to believe it. I'm kind of like that as well.
Yeah,
But you know, I am high on this team, Shake. I cannot lie. I think there's some good things to be excited about moving forward with the Dolphins, and now it's time to put up or shut up. I think we've done enough talking for the off season, and now it's time to get on the field and see all the talk that we've had and all the positivity that we've had. Hopefully, it translates to the field.
yeah, for sure, man. So we have the ultimate team coming out, right?
All right.
All right. What formation you're running offensively?
Ooh. I'm gonna go the spread. I'm gonna go 5 wide.
5 wide. Damn.
I'm gonna go
So
spread.
So no running backs, no nothing, just five wide receivers.
Well, I mean, no, like I will go 4. I would throw a running back. I'm not gonna have no fullback. I don't want no fullback.
Okay.
I'm going because my quarterback obviously is
It's
13.
Tua Tagovailoa, right?
Listen, I love Tua,
Uh-huh.
but it's
You
good
said
on number
Marino. You said
13.
13. He wore 13 in Alabama.
Hey, well, no, I'm talking about 13 in aqua and orange.
Okay.
Running back, of course, I'm taking Ricky. Receivers now. So I'm gonna go Reek. I'm gonna throw
Hill.
Waddle. Yep.
Those are the
Hill, Waddle.
outside. Those are the outside or inside.
Well, see, I wasn't even gonna put them in positions like that. I think they will be interchangeable. I think they're gonna be interchangeable at that point. Durham Smythe would not make the ultimate team. I am sorry, but yeah, I'm gonna go Hill, Waddle,
Mm-hmm.
Clayton, Duper.
My pen is tripping real quick. Hold on. Let me get another piece of paper. All right. Let's hope. All right. So we got Marino,
Yeah, we got Marino.
Ricky.
We got Ricky.
Hill.
Hill, Waddle, Duper, and Clayton. And we could probably just
Marks Brothers.
we definitely have the Marks brothers.
About the offensive line.
Offensive line, I'm gonna go Richmond Webb at left.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna go Keith Sims at left guard.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna go Pouncey at center.
Mm-hmm.
Right guard, I'm gonna throw one of the new guys in there. I'm gonna go Robert Hunt. Show the new guy some love. He's been productive for us.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna go Hunt. And at right tackle, not real long of a career, but I'm gonna go with our first overall pick, Jake Long.
Long. Okay.
I'm gonna throw Jake Long out at right tackle.
And what's your defensive formation?
I'm gonna go 4-3, man.
Okay.
Up front, give me Wake and Jason Taylor on the outside. Give me Tim Bowens and this is gonna piss him off, Shake. Zach Seiler in the middle.
Bowens, Seiler.
Give me
hey man,
Bowens
the
and
guy
Seiler.
he's a fucking hunter, man. So he has instincts. He has instincts. You know what I'm saying? You need to be a whatchamacallit.
Yeah, absolutely. I just don't want to throw a bunch of old or young guys or new guys just on the team. I want a good mixture. Linebackers. Give me Nick Bonacani.
Okay.
Give me Zach Thomas. And who do I want?
Nick Bonacani.
Yeah, I got Nick. I got Zach. Give me Carlos Dansby.
Carlos Dansby. El Capitan is in the building. What's going on, El Cap?
What up, Cap?
Dansby.
Yep. That would be my 3 linebackers. And then corners, I'm going, again, when I grew up, man, press man to man, I'm going Patrick Surtain, Sam Madison.
Sam.
Those are my
Pat and Sam, yeah.
Yep. And then I'm going to go 2 safeties. Give me Lewis Oliver and Javon Holland.
Yeah, that Lewis Oliver was the thumper. He's a good strong safety.
Absolutely.
So to recap, Marino and Ricky Williams with Webb, Sims, Pouncey, Hunt, Robert Hunt, and
Jake
Jake
Long.
Long.
Yep.
Yep. And then you have the Hill and Waddle with the Marks brothers. Wake and Jason Taylor with Zach and Zach Tim Bowens and Zach Seiler in the middle. We got Nick Bonacani, Zach Thomas, and Dansby. And we have Sam Madison, Patrick Surtain, uh, Lewis and Lewis Oliver, the former Gator, my ad, and Holland. You got two Gators on the team. That's what's up.
I threw two Gators in there, man.
But no, you know what's funny is we were doing Saturday. I don't know if you listened to it. Me when I did the top 100 Dolphins with Doc and all those guys.
Hmm.
They were going over Dansby stats, and Doc says, "Man, he sounds just a lot like Jerome Baker with his stats and stuff like that." And I'm like, "There's a difference, though. I'd rather get tackled by Jerome Baker than I would Dansby,
Carlos Dansby, for sure.
because Dansby's putting your dick in the dirt. That motherfucker used to hit with bad intentions. There was no.
He did.
He was a thumper. He was like your true the kind of guy that you did not want to see coming towards you if you had the ball.
Absolutely.
Where
Absolutely. He was
versus
definitely a thumper.
versus whatchamacallit, he would kind of do like Dade says, he would do like that gator roll, hit you in the back. So I mean, what linebacker would you in this team do you have faith in, middle linebacker, out of the three middle linebackers that we have now?
Um, well, when you throw on the tape, David Long Jr., I mean, he does impress. I mean, when the guy's on the field, I know he comes with a couple of injury concerns, but when he's on the field, he's a dominant player. I mean, the skills he has is undeniable. So I'm definitely high on David Long Jr. Shake, you know how I am. I like Jerome Baker. I think he gets a bad rap. Is he the hardest hitter? No.
Yeah,
Is he giving you a lot of tackles behind the line of scrimmage? Okay, no. But I think he's going to be great in this scheme under Vic Fangio. And again, every year he's been with us, Shake, he's gotten better. So I'm high on Baker as well. And I absolutely want to see how Andrew Van Ginkel, because that's a guy. I know you said middle linebacker. We haven't seen him play that a lot.
yeah.
Here and there. He did it in college, but see, that's a player, Shake, like what we were talking about earlier. That's another guy. Doesn't look like he's the biggest. Doesn't look like he's the strongest. Doesn't look like he's the fastest. But one thing I could tell you about Andrew Van Ginkel, he's clocking in. He's bringing his lunch pail in on Sunday, and he's playing football.
Yeah,
Right?
he's
And those,
preparation.
bro, Andrew Van Ginkel is one of those guys that he for me, I love watching on Sunday. And he's not the big name. He's not flashy, but he's just a guy that comes in, gonna do his job, do it very well. So, would I like to see a big time linebacker here, Shake? I mean, yes, but I don't think linebacker is a major, major concern yet. I think with Andrew Van Ginkel, I think with Jerome Baker, David Long, if he still stays healthy, and then the guy, the UDFA, and Aubrey Miller. You know,
Mm-hmm.
we'll see if he pans out. So I think we should be good. I know everybody is kind of concerned with the linebacker position, and it's not the best, but I don't think it's the worst neither.
Yeah, and I tell you what, man, Dolphins Twitter has been uh
It
been crazy, going crazy
it,
because of the.
it it's on fire, bro.
Oh, shout out to my twin Alexander Rene Diaz. What's going on, brother? How you doing? But yeah, man. Anyway, I'm finna close this thing down, man. Once again, man, I appreciate you for your time, and thank you for uh the support and the all the love you've shown me since we've started this. You know what I'm saying?
Listen, Shake, I am honored that I was even, asked to be part of the blender. Um, and again, bro, the work you're doing, I know, and I just want to say this.
Damn,
Damn, what happened
the
there?
hell? I don't know. What are you
But
saying?
I did want to say this live, Shake, because I know you always say it and you say it live. Like it's our show. And I get it. It is our show what we do over there at the
Mm-hmm.
Finn's Tailgate. It's the Smoke Lounge. But
Yeah.
bro, the groundwork, I don't have the time. I'm usually working.
Mm-hmm.
And bro, you're putting the thumbnails together. You're getting guests. You're making sure the show is running. So all these kind of words you were saying about me, Shake, or me showing you love. Nah, bro. The reason I show you love is,
Mm-hmm.
bro, it wouldn't be at least the show we're doing together. It wouldn't be nothing without you. Hey, I'm a small clog in that kind of arena. You're the guy behind that. So, bro, I was honored to be part of the blender, and I'm
Mm-hmm.
definitely honored to do the show with you Mondays and Wednesdays and Fridays over there at the Fence Tailgate.
Let me tell you something, man. At the end of the day, like I've always told you before, I take cash over credit. At the end of the day, I know what I'm been. I contribute. You know what I contribute. As long as we're putting together a good show, uh, and we have great guests, you're a big part of that. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, I wouldn't, whether how much you contribute or not. I think we all are the reason why the show is successful. At the end of the day, never forget that. Crypto as
Uh,
well. Crypto. He
Shout out to
comes in.
Crypto
He comes
for
in
sure.
as well. He's another one that helps make the show possible. El Capitan is another person who gave us the platform to make this happen. So we all play our part. You know what I'm saying? And like I told
One
you,
thousand
man,
percent.
you don't have the time, so I do. So at the end of the day, man, we all put in our part, and at the end of the day, it's like complementary football. We all do our parts. You know what I'm saying? So if none of us was doing our part, this what I'm doing wouldn't make a difference. If you weren't doing your part, if Crypto wasn't doing his part, if El Capitan didn't have his part, none of it would make no difference anyway.
I feel you, Shay. I feel the same way, but I would just be remiss if
Yeah, and
because
I appreciate that, man. I appreciate that, man.
bro, because people need to know how hard this thing is. That's why, like, to all the content creators that do it,
hmm
especially full time, and they put their time and effort into it, and that's what I want people to understand about our show, Shake, and even the shows you do over here on Larry K's channel and your morning wrestling shows and stuff, bro. You're putting in the work, and from a guy that has watched you from day one until
hmm
today, bro, you the sky's the limit for you, Shake. I mean, you really do bring some value not only to the YouTube and all the shows. Like your wrestling shows are great, the blender's great, the shows we do are great. So I
hmm
just watching you evolve and seeing where you started and where you're at now, bro. Sky's the limit for you, bro. So I'm just
And,
happy for you. I'm excited, and I can't wait to see what the Smoke Lounge has in store.
and tell me if you can hear this audio real quick. Let me know. All right. And then, this is one of the things that helps me out, and maybe somebody needs to hear this, but we'll see. Tell me if you can hear the audio.
I remember I was playing a game with my 9-year-old son, John Leslie, and I beat him 10 straight games in a game called Connect Four. And finally, I said, John Leslie, I'm bored. I don't want to play you anymore. And I got up. I said, I'm ready to go to sleep now. John Leslie said, no, you can't go now, Dad. I said, why? He said, it's not over until I win. That was his attitude. We sat down and we played several other games. And finally, after the 11th game, John Leslie won, and he got up and he yawned. And he said, I'm ready to go to sleep now. And I'm saying to you, what if all of us took that attitude after we face a rejection and a no, or we have a meeting and no one shows up, or somebody say, you can count on me, and they don't come through. What if we have that kind of attitude? The cause we possess. Nobody believes in you. You've lost again and again and again. The lights are cut off, but you're still looking at your dream, reviewing it every day, and say to yourself, it's not over until I win.
Yeah, that's one of
Yeah,
the things I listen to every day before I start this show or the Smoke Lounge.
yeah, man. Everybody needs kind of inspiration, and I think that message right there is great. Like, never give up, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Hell
when
yeah,
when life is kicking your ass, or someone on the panel is kicking your ass, or whatever, just keep it going, man.
keep
Never
on
never
grinding,
give
baby.
up. Keep on grinding, man. Because when the only time you're defeated is when you give up. That's
Hell
it.
yeah.
Until if you don't give up, you're never defeated.
So with that being said, man, for myself, mi hermano Rabid Dolphin.
Peace.
Good night, guys.